Okay, today's workout is full body. We are going to do left lunge pulses or just left lunges, but all from a stationary position. And then we're going to do planks and then bird dogs and then bug on its back, which used to be called dead bug. I'll explain in a minute why it's not called that anymore. And front lunge pulse on the right, or just a front lunge pulse from a stationary position. Are you ready? Okay, let's set our watches because it doesn't count if our watch doesn't count it. And then we're going to get started here in 10 seconds. Make sure you have your water nearby, close at hand. All right, and 3, 2, 1, let's go. Left lunge. Okay, now remember, when it comes to the lunges or anything pretty much when you're working on your legs, you want to make sure your knee is working more towards your toe. You're moving your knee towards your toe, your pinky toe, okay? You don't want your knee to cave in. That puts way too much pressure and tension on the ACL, all those ligaments and tendons within the knee. That's why there are so many knee injuries, because it is a sensitive area. So you want to make sure that that knee is going towards the toe. If you cannot do a pulse, also, you want to come all the way up. Lunge down, up. Lunge down and up. Lunge down and up. Or if you can pulse, you're going to go ahead and do the pulse like this. Just make sure you're watching that knee, holding in the core and keeping the upper body upright. All right, we are going to do, what are these called? Planks. We're going to do a plank. Now there's a couple of different ways to do this. Number one, from your toes. If you are new or cannot do this, drop down to your knees. You will work up to doing it from your toes. If you are more advanced, you can do it from your toes together, putting your legs together and the toes touching. Or if you need a little bit more stability, you can widen your feet. That'll give you a little bit more balance. All right. Planks are tough. You are working your entire body, arms, shoulders, upper back, lower back, abs, legs, buns, all of it. All right, up on our hands and knees. We're gonna do bird dog. Right arm, left leg out, back to center, left arm, right leg, back to center, right arm, left leg. All right, you're doing opposite sides because if you try to do the same side, you probably fall over. Right arm, left leg, center, left arm, right leg. Hold in that core, hold in your abs. If you make it a habit of always holding your abs in, you will be very surprised at how quickly your core gets defined and how much your lower back pain starts to get alleviated. And that's because a lot of lower back pain is about having a strong core. Okay, now we're gonna flip over for bug on its back. If you've worked out with me before, you know we used to call these dead bug, but one of our viewers has grandkids. And as she was doing the workout with her grandkids, who are all of about 5 to 8 years old, they said, wait a minute, this shouldn't be called dead bug, because if it's dead, it's not gonna be moving its arms and legs. So I said, hey, you know what? They kind of got a point. So we're going to call it bug on its back. We are a bug that's been flipped over on our back, and we are scrambling to try and get back upright. Okay. After this, we're going to go back to our feet, where we're going to do right lunge pulses. All right. And up on our feet. Don't jump and hustle, or do hustle, but don't do it to where it's hurting yourself. Just go at your own pace. And if you need to hold on to something, feel free, okay? All right, hands on hips or holding on to something so you can keep your balance. And remember, knee goes towards the pinky toe, not to the inside of your big toe. That will hurt that knee. So you wanna make sure we're keeping good, strong knees here. And if you can, do a pulse where you're staying at the lower half of the exercise, but that's a little bit more advanced. So if that's tough, come all the way up. Down and squeeze up. All right, after this, we get a 50-second break, so hang in there. And rest. All right, grab your waters. First 50-second or first round of 5 exercises are done. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Very important. Okay, catch your breath. Hi, Coach Domino, how you doing? Is Mama doing a good job? Is my form right? All right, Domino should be doing these workouts with me, right? He's 11 years old, he's a senior dog. He needs to be staying in shape. You took Daddy for a good long walk this morning though, didn't ya? And a run back. All right, slow down that heart rate. We're starting again in about 5 seconds with left lunges. All right, get in position. And lunge down, press up. Lunge down, press up. Lunge down, press up. Watch that knee. Hold in the core. And if you can, do some pulses. Pulses are where you're really staying at the lower half of the exercise to keep tension on those muscles at all times, but it's hard. So if you need to, go back to lunge down and press up, and lunge down and press up. Watching that knee, keeping it towards the pinky toe, not over and on the inside of the big toe. All right. Press if you can, or pulse if you can. After this, we go to planks. Whew, I'm burning. All right, on the floor for a plank. Again, do it from your knees if you have to. If you can, do it from your toes. And even better, do it from your toes with your feet together to get as much out of this stabilizing exercise as possible. And remember to breathe. And hold in that core. And if it gets tough and you start shaking, just drop down for a minute, catch your breath, and pop it back up. Remember to breathe and hold that core in. After this is bird dog. I learned the bird dog exercise, by the way, during physical therapy. I was having some hip pain, believe it or not, but it happened to be the L4 vertebrae that was getting pressure on it. So this is a great exercise to strengthen the muscles in that back, especially the lower back, so that you can be good and have a strong spine. Right arm, left leg, center, left arm, right leg, back to center. And keep rotating. It's easiest just to remember opposite arm and opposite leg. If you try to do them both on the same side, you'd probably fall over. Don't even know if I could do that. All right, after this, we're going to bug on its back. Remember to breathe and hold in that core, because tiny efforts equals total health on our back. All right, right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg. Very similar actually to bird dog, only we're on our back. All right, this is close to the end of the second round. After this, we go back on our feet to right lunge pulse, and then we're done with our second round, get our break, and we'll be on the home stretch for finishing up this workout. All right, hold in that core. Remember, if you hold in that core, you will have a six-pack in no time. It's actually been proven you don't really have to do a ton of ab exercises to get them to shine, so to speak. All right, up on our feet, right leg forward, left leg back, and lunge it down. And if you can, do a pulse. But like I said, that is pretty advanced. Focus on that knee going towards the pinky toe, not inward towards the knee or towards the big toe. All right, if you need to hold on to something for balance, go right ahead. No bad in that. Again, just hold on to whatever is close by. And if you have to, step it all the way up, because pulses are hard to do for 50 straight seconds. Remember to breathe. This is our last exercise of the second round, almost 2/3 of the way through. You got this. And rest. Grab that water. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Now, most of you probably know why hydration is important, but everything in our body requires water. And if we aren't drinking water, then our bodies can't operate as they should. Little unknown fact by most, that the liver, its main job is to regulate metabolism. But when your kidneys aren't working properly because you're not drinking enough water, the liver will help assist the kidneys, therefore taking away from its sole responsibility, or its most important responsibility, which is metabolism. So if you drink water, your kidneys can properly function. Get into position for our last round. We're gonna do left lunge pulses or left lunges. Anyway, what I was saying was, if your kidneys are functioning properly on their own because you're drinking enough water and hydrating, then your liver can do what it is primary focus is, which is, again, regulating metabolism. The liver is a really important organ. It has over 500 jobs. So keeping all of those parts in regular working order, which staying hydrated will absolutely help. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you should be drinking about 100 ounces of water a day. Woo, I'm feeling this one, are you? Do a pulse if you can. Remember, focus on that knee. Make sure it's going towards the pinky toe. All right, and switch. We're down for planks. Last time today. All right, arms and legs out, holding a stable, solid position, and back to water. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you should be drinking about 100 ounces of water a day. If you weigh 100 pounds, you should be drinking 50. If you are 150 pounds, you should be drinking 75. Now, a lot of people say, well, I drink water when I'm thirsty. The only problem with that philosophy is that the brain, when it is dehydrated, will send the message to your body that you are hungry. When you're not actually hungry, you are thirsty. You are dehydrated. So if you make it a habit, anytime you feel like you're hungry, to drink 16 ounces of water first, I can almost guarantee, bird dog, switch it up. I can almost guarantee that you'll lose a little bit of weight because your brain will stop sending the message that you're hungry because you will be hydrated. And you probably know that the more hydrated you are, the less food you will consume because you won't be feeling the need to fill up as much. When I was a personal coach, that was the number one goal people wanted to achieve was weight loss. And every single one of my coaching clients, every single time, without question, as soon as they started to adopt the drink 16 ounces of water before I eat anything, every single one of them lost weight. All right, flip on over. Last time for bug on its back. After this, we have one more exercise and we are done. Stick a fork in me, I'm done. All right, remember, breathe and hold in that core. Left leg, right, let me try that again. Left arm, right leg, right arm, left leg. Okay, the opposite arm and opposite leg are being extended. You opposites for balance. It'd be really hard to go like that. It's just harder because you do everything on one side. Think about like when you're walking. Your right arm goes forward when your left leg goes forward. So just think about walking while you're doing bug on its back. Easy for me to say. Who can tell I'm getting tired. Okay, last time, last exercise. You're at the end of your 15 minutes here. Remember, focus on that knee, keeping it to going towards the pinky toe, not over and in towards the big toe. And if you can't do pulses, go all the way up, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down, and give that tush an extra squeeze when you get to the back, when you get to the full upright position. Breathe, breathe. You're on the home stretch here. All right, if you are tough and very advanced, keep doing the pulses. And if you can't, press all the way up. And you did it, woo! The crowd goes wild. All right, remember, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. drink a good, 16 to 30 ounces of water, and have a good high protein snack, something like nuts, seeds, chicken, turkey, even a scoop of peanut butter or a protein shake would all be great. All right, remember, tiny efforts equals total health. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.